Okay, 5-minute tech questions a day.
Yay.
With
Techie.
and me.
Yeah.
And the kids are both asleep again.
Again. I don't know how that.
It's just a really groggy week. We're like all messed up this week.
2 for 1.
Yes.
That's
we're
cool.
all messed up this week.
Yay.
All right, questions a day.
Uh-oh.
Because it is Wednesday. And what? I actually don't remember which day Christmas is because we don't celebrate it.
Well, it's like it's funny because they might not necessarily even be watching this Wednesday, depending upon when I can actually get this up.
No,
so
I understand that, but what I'm trying to put in perspective, that Christmas is either Friday or Saturday.
It's one of those days.
And I don't remember.
Yeah.
And today is Wednesday, so I figure that today's subject is tracking Santa.
Oh.
Yes. This
Interesting.
is amusing. You talked about this a couple years ago.
Yes, we did.
And it was very fun.
Yes. There's a new revelation about that now.
What is it?
Apparently, I don't know, I was reading an article having to do with this.
Yeah.
And they were saying that this year, because there's like, everybody's always talking about Santa, but they're not talking about his wife.
Interesting.
His wife has now become a prominent part of the tradition.
Interesting.
So remember how everybody was in lockdown and they couldn't go to malls and they couldn't
Right.
So what ended up happening is that people were requesting videos, live videos from Santa. They would actually send in information before the Zoom meeting to the Santa character, letting them know what gifts that the kid is receiving, a little bit of their history, and things that they did good that year and bad that year, and got Santa actually to go into to talk about that stuff. But
wouldn't that confuse the kid?
No.
Okay.
It actually made the kid think it was more magical.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
So it actually worked out better than just like this random mall person. But here's where it got really fascinating, is that reports were saying that while Santa or whatever would go off of screen to go in to help the whole feed and stuff like that, like all of a sudden they would have the person that's playing his wife show up on the screen and just kind of actually like add in her own 2 cents and become part of the tradition.
It's interesting.
Right. And they said in that way, it actually created a much more interesting dynamic versus just, oh, there's this guy and here's this supporting wife that's in the corner, where it actually made it as if the wife was actually controlling everything.
Okay. All right, but getting back to the point.
No, but that is the point.
Okay.
That is the point. The point is that everything is evolving.
Right, so that's why I'm bringing this up again, and I want you to talk about it.
No, exactly.
So for people who, and again, we're not here to say whether Santa is real or not, Right. So I don't want you to be like, you know.
No. But what I'm saying is that the technology has gone into the point now where you can either go and you can even request for either, let's say, Santa or for his wife.
Right. Okay. So, but we're gonna circle back to the point here.
Yeah.
Okay, because we're already almost at 4 minutes.
No, but this is an important conversation.
Yes, for people who would like to track Santa.
Right. So.
What are the options this year?
Yeah. So the thing is that I think it's like I don't actually keep track of this stuff, but I think it's like. Here,
but there are people here who do. So.
Right. Here, let me just see what's being offered this year. But that's been the big deal, is people have been looking less at tracking Santa, and they've been looking more at the idea, because some families are saying that Santa isn't going to be able to make it this year because he has to stay isolated.
That's interesting.
Right. So
are there like virtual Santa things? Or
that's
something?
what I've been talking about.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah. But
so I'm wondering, are there? Because a couple years ago there were apps.
Well, No Red does tracking Santa. SantaTracker.google.com. So Google is doing a Santa tracker. Let me see if I can put this up for a second. So you can actually see this, but yeah, my phone is just having a moment right now.
That's okay.
But yeah, there's definitely things there. We need a tripod at some point.
That's okay.
All right, here it goes. Loading. Yeah, here it is. So,
Is this one of the ones you talked about a couple years ago?
well, I mean, this is Google's latest version of the Santa
so they've
tracker.
updated it.
They've updated it for right. So it's like they have family guides and all kinds of other. I don't know. You can't really see with this lighting.
It's the basement light.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. So you can see it's got like all these things, but look right there. Look who's prominently there. Is that Santa?
Right, it's interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This is very, very revolutionary.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of tech blogs that have been talking about it of Santa being missing
That's interesting.
from these apps. So
Right.
that essentially, this is why it's so important to talk about. They're saying while Santa's trying to figure out how to get to the homes, they're making a new story that his wife is running the operations.
I mean that's fine. I mean that's kind of how things work here, right? But like
No, but that's
is
never.
that-
But it's always been the L's that ran
Yeah.
the operations. It's never been.
Right.
It's always been the wife being like, "All right, I'll make some cookies."
Right.
Cookies so
But
that
at the
you
same
can.
time, that feels like in a sense it's implying that the wife stays home, and
Well, not necessarily in that case, because it's like essentially it's making her out to be the boss,
right.
which is just look at this. It's
No, you
I'm
can
trying.
see it. You can see it.
I'm trying to get it where you can look.
Yeah.
It's both of them.
Right. It's interesting.
That is a big change
That is a big change.
for engineers of technology to be showing that. That's what it's like. Like in the past, if we go and we look at the NORAD one, which is what's been the traditional Santa tracker. What's interesting, if we go to that one, you'll notice that
Looks like they've updated that one too.
they've updated it, but
Yeah.
but it's not like what Google's doing.
Yeah.
It's a
Right.
very different. So we'll go to NORAD HQ, and you're like okay, they're doing what they can,
Yeah.
but here we
It
can
looks like
see
it looks like Google had a lot more fun.
right. So
Uh-huh.
you can see here's like the NORAD one. It's doing a commercial. Let me just give that a moment. Here it is. But you can see right here how it's like, okay, they're showing it, and there you go.
Yeah, it's much more old fashioned. Like,
It's much more old fashioned
Yeah.
and stuff where we're essentially looking at something like Google. Google's basically saying, hey, this thing that started off by accident where there was an advertisement that had the wrong number and it gave a private line to
Right.
NORAD. Google's like, no, we're gonna actually take advantage of this information. So that's why it's like, if we look at once again the Google version and we click on play, you can see that they've actually done a lot of
there's like
work.
a whole story and all kinds of
Right, they've
stuff.
got a whole story, they've got a whole thing.
So seeing that we're at, almost 9 minutes. So basically, if you're looking to track Santa, you have the Google option and you have the NORAD option.
Right, I mean
Now-
the traditional option is NORAD.
Right. Now, a couple years ago, you were looking at apps. Are there any other apps that we're missing, or is that basically it?
I mean, there are other apps that are out there. There's like Santa trackers and other things. I mean, each of these apps that are like.
But the other one was actually online, so you don't have to get an app.
Right, you don't have to get an app.
Right, for either of the two that we were just talking
Right,
about.
which is so different from the way things used to be, because I mean, NORAD, once again, they're trying to advertise what they do.
Yeah.
And recruit you for the army and all that other
Right, right,
stuff.
right.
Well, Google's trying to recruit you of using what's it called? Their platform.
Yeah.
But yeah, Peterson's Air Force Base. I mean, they're getting all ready for this.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, just looking through this information. As I said, it's like I wasn't prepared for this
That's
question,
okay.
but that seems to be.
So those seem to be the two easiest options. And then if you want more beyond that, look in the App Store.
I mean, look at the App Store and stuff, because it's like, I'm just here's an example right here of NORAD. You can see here's a picture. Notice there's the two L's. There's a Santa who's missing.
Right. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just been very interesting to see that. Let me just see because I think more people are interested actually in the call Santa thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just do that. Because a lot of the Santas, they can't make it to malls or any of these other things.
Yeah.
Zoom Santa visit. I'm trying to find.
Hopefully there are a couple of them.
There's a lot of them, and you want to do research before choosing any of them. But yeah, $59 to go and to have Santa virtually.
Well, is this just one website though?
That's an example.
Yeah.
That's an example. This is CNN reporting.
Right.
I trust CNN. So yeah, called Santa Zoom Bomb.
Let's just go there.
Your next Zoom meeting, only $59. Santa will come in.
So just to repeat, we don't know anything about this one. You just found this on a web search.
Well, I found this.
But
CNN reported it, and the problem is we don't know anything. We don't know anything about the religion and stuff like that. And it's like, if you trust CNN, maybe that's things. But there's other virtual ones that are out there. And here's another one. Parents are desperate. Zoom Santas are cashing in.
Right. So basically, to sum it up, if you want a free and fun way to track Santa, your best bets are probably the Google thing and the NORAD thing. If you want to talk to Santa, there are lots of Zoom options.
There's a lot of Zoom options. And as I said, a lot of people, instead of tracking Santa, they're not tracking Santa this year.
Right.
They're actually more so putting up a countdown timer. And they're saying...
You can look at the timer video for that, right?
Right. That's funny.
Well, that's true.
But they're they're setting up a countdown timer until like Santa shows up on their computer screen.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And then all of a sudden they'll find a way to go in to get presents and all that.
We're at 12 minutes.
No, I get it, but this is a lofty topic.
No, I know. Quick question. You're talking about Santa countdown timers. Is there a Santa countdown timer? Let's see if you can find that real quick, and then we're going to wrap this up.
All right, I'll go find one. I'm going into the iPhone App Store for a second and see, is there a Santa timer? That would be very interesting if there is. I'm sure there's got to be. It might even be listed under holiday timer. It's loading. It's literally loading right now. Okay, here we go.
Next year we'll have to talk about Hanukkah. This year we started recording these videos after Hanukkah, so.
That's funny. That is really funny. Okay, special event. Yeah, like literally somebody posted in the App Store that Friday at 6 a.m. Santa Christmas Eve trip. Follow Santa.
That said like speak to Santa, right? That's what it said before you clicked.
As he makes his way around the globe.
Speak to Santa.
Yeah, but it's called Speak to Santa Christmas Call.
Right.
So
that's something else you can look at if you want something that's like not.
But it's got its own tracker on it.
Right.
But that tracker is like that's what I'm saying. It's like there's so many people that are getting into this game. Everybody's gonna have to do it
their own way.
Video Call Santa, Catch Santa. There's a lot of Santa. But as far as timers, let me see if there's a YouTube timer.
Yeah, so it seems like there are a lot more apps about this than there were a couple years ago when you did video. And
it was almost impossible to find apps.
Right.
But I think there's a lot of people that like...
So in other words, if you can't find a free Zoom call and you want something interesting, there are apps.
There are tons of apps.
Right, where you can kind of have like a blanket chat with Santa.
Okay, here we go. Email santa.com. And then it looks like there's a countdown. There you go. I don't know how specific they get if they get into hours and stuff, but there's I mean, this one seems like full of ads and stuff. Okay, there we go. We got the answer. It's December 25th.
Okay.
So that's in...
It's a couple of days.
Here we go. That's what I was looking for. 3 days.
Yeah.
41
Well,
hours.
that's not very exciting for kids. It's like...
No, it's not exciting for kids, but at least it lets us know what's going on. But there's got to be something in there.
So basically, there are options. You just have to look for them and use your imagination and do whatever works for you.
Yeah. I mean, they basically said, that's funny. It says it's 2 sleeps, 14 hours, 18 minutes, and 27 seconds. So that is counting down. I mean, they did what they did this year as far as all the innovation on, like, calling Santa and videos and all these other things. I imagine next year it's probably going to get even more intense. Oh, here we go. That's
All right, so what website is that in case somebody wants it?
Online-stopwatch.com /Christmas /Santa-race.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a mouthful. I don't even...
So there are options.
Yeah, there's options. There's plenty of options there. But it looks like you would just, like, I don't know, put your numbers in, set... Oh, that's funny.
All right, so once again, we're at 16 minutes. So we have NORAD, we have the Google Santa Tracker, and we have the App Store.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, I think that's a good way to wrap it up because...
That's fine. As I said, loaded question. And we also have the gender-positive roles that are taking place in the world where there are not just Santas being hired, but a lot of wives of Santas being hired. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't even know what the name is of the...
What, Mrs. Claus?
Oh, is that it?
I think so.
Okay. What's her first name?
I don't know.
I don't know. Like if people are gonna be using this, Mrs. Claus.
Well, they'll know what to find. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I'm just
your
curious.
job is to talk about tech.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm using tech right now. Holly.
Okay.
Holly.
Yeah.
Okay, so Santa and Holly. So that's interesting.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, before we hit 20 minutes, we're going to log this off. So
all right, sounds good.
If people have questions for you, if they're having trouble tracking Santa or something,
707-267-7778.
Yeah, and your website.
Techie-to-the-rescue.com.
Okay. All right, we're going to go about our day.
Yeah, I think we did it.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.